Hello and welcome back to the Noob Bites series. This is the videos for noob animators and explaining the stuff the big boys in animations take for granted. So last week we were talking about shortcuts. This is the same thing, a little bit, some other shortcuts that I missed. And I realized when I was uploading the other video, I was missing a couple of shortcuts. So we will talk about that this week. So let's get into that right now. All right. So, well, first of all, the one that I missed last week would be the way to move the keyframes from right to left or left to right. There is a shortcut for that. I was moving it using the mouse, but there is a better way to use it, and that would be the brackets. This wouldn't be the square brackets, but it would be the corner brackets. I will be showing them on the screen somewhere on the screen, which brackets are there, but they are the same that would have the comma and the dot on the keyboard. So with one of the brackets, the let's say for example the minus bracket, you can move left, and with the major or the plus bracket, you can move right. So that's pretty much it. It is very easy and very helpful. That will save us a lot of time instead of going here and moving the frame wherever we want. That's one thing that I wanted to put out of the way at the beginning. So now let's talk about a very important option, and that would be the K key, the K for kilo. You know, the K key. It helps us to know if, well, it has a lot of uses. However, the one that is important for us would be to know if a form is closed or not, a drawing is closed or not, in order to color it. So let's see, for example, I make a circle. All right, I didn't close it. What happens if I press the K key? It happens this. Okay, it will show here with yellow dots that it is not connecting. If I make something else, it will show this. You see, it is connecting in the middle with a blue dot, and the points that are not connected will be showing with red dots that are not connecting. These are endings that are not connecting to anything. When it is blue, it is the form or the drawing is connecting completely, totally. Right, this is important because if we want to color this, let's say we take the bucket to color. If we try to color this, it will work just fine. However, if we try to do it, it will not do it this way. The color bucket has an option, which is to close the gaps. However, it has a threshold, and it could be that the one that we use is not enough. This gap is not enough to be covered by this. I'm using the biggest one, and it is not doing it. So sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. Being honest, it hasn't worked ever for me. So it doesn't matter if the gap is small. It never worked, but it could be something with me. However, that's something that it's good to know in order to know if your drawing is being closed or not. That way you know if you can close it or not. What happens if it is not closed like this? It is not closed. It looks like it is. For example, if I press K again, it looks closed. However, it is actually not. One important thing, this works only for pencil. If you move to brush, this doesn't work. Let me do a drawing with the brush. It actually does. That's good. However, it will not tell you. You can see the outline, For the K key, however, it will not tell you if it is closing or not. That's something that to take into consideration. Now, going back to the pencil, what happens if it is not closed? You want to color it with the bucket. It is not working. How to close it? It is almost closed. How you can do it? How can you do it? Well, it is pretty simple. You just go to the paint. Well, it is a bucket called paints, same thing. You can just press and hold. Do you see here some tools on the toolbar? We'll have this little arrow on the bottom left, on the bottom right. This means that there are more tools behind this main tool. So in order to show it up, what you need to do is just press and hold. You press and hold, and it opens these options here. It happens the same with any tool that you open that has that little arrow. It will be the same. All right, here we can see ellipse, line, polling line. All right, but the one that we need is the one for the paint tool. All right, and it will be close gap. What will close gap do? It will create an invisible line that will close any open lines that are here. So you just click around the two lines that you want to close and to put together, and that's pretty much it. They will be closed. As you can see here, it will create this small line. It is completely invisible. If I take the K key out, it will not show. As you can see, however, it is completely closed. Now we can go select a color, go back, hold, go back to paint, and paint, and it will paint it. Oh, that's a bright green. Okay. All right, that's something important with the K key and this close gap option. This, well, we will be talking about the options, about the tools later on. However, you can see that this stroke one is very alike to it. It looks very similar. So let's just try it out. What the stroke tool do is pretty much to create an invisible line. However, it is not to close or to connect lines. It is just a invisible line. So if you create it, you can see that we are creating invisible lines. If I take the K key, it will not show up. All right, now let's see if it fills. Right, it does. However, if I take the K key out, it will not show up, and that will not show up on the rendering either. On the animation render, it will not show up there either. So that's something to take into consideration if you want to make some invisible lines that do not require an outline for them. That's something that you can do as well. All right, K key. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Okay, let's make it smaller. All right. Now, there's one thing, one important thing, and it would be to convert. Sometimes you're creating your drawing with the pencil tool, but you want to convert it. You have a line, and you want it to be converted into brush. You know, what is the difference? Okay, I will show you the difference. And for that, we will use let's make it bigger. Select a different one. Okay, a little bit bigger. You remember already how to make things bigger? It would be with the O. I'm using this one because my keyboard is a little bit far away, but that would be O. All right, we have two lines. They look very alike, however, they are very different. How to know? Pressing the K key. Okay, with the K key, we can see that the pencil line has a line under in between the whole line. There is in the middle. It is on the middle. Right? This has some functionalities for some for moving the line. For example, if I want to where is it? Here. If I want to use the contour, I can move the contour, move the line however I want. That's something very good that can be done with the pencil line. We can do the same with the brush line. However, the brush line, the difference is that the line is on the edges. The control dots here, the control options are in the middle, on the outside of the line and not in the middle like this. So if you want to move something, it will do this. It lacks a lot of control for moving it. However, you can just do some crazy stuff with it, and it will be different for this one. You have also these tools that you can move, and the line will do crazy stuff as well, but they move different. And this is pretty much the difference between the brush line and the pencil line, and the way to move them. So that's something to take into consideration. All right. Now, there is something good with Toon Boom. I really like it. Honestly, when I saw it was possible, maybe some other tools have it. To be honest with you, I don't know. So that would be the color changing. All right. Let's say I have this square that is green, and I can feel it. So you can see here, if I lower down over here, there are some options. There is an option that it is called autofill. As soon as I create the square, it will fill it automatically. Let's try it. All right, it will be created automatically. You see the line, the blue line here. That's because I have the K key activated. I can just press the K key and it will be gone. All right, these are two options to work with. I can just go to the paint, paint, yeah, the paint tool, and fill it up. All right, there is one. To be honest, I find it great. I find it awesome. Maybe some other tools have it. I'm sorry, some other programs have it for animation. I don't know. I have been using this one for since the beginning, so I am not sure. But it would be to change the colors. All right, I have these two colors. So these are the two that we're using, the red and the green. However, let's say if you want it to be yellow instead of red, you can just double click on it, select the yellow over here, and boom, it's changed. You can just move it here. It will change the color around here for any color that you want. That's actually awesome. Same thing with the green. You can just select any color and it will be changed. Just close it, and that's it. That will affect the whole animation. It will not affect only one frame. It will affect all the frames, for all the layers, for everything. Anything that is uses these colors will be affected. So that's that saves lots of time, and it is an absolutely great option that I wanted to share. All right, now we have this drawing. This is a layer that we can add an effect to it in order to be shown on the. However, there are some effects that will show only on the render view. So there is a render view, and there is just an OpenGL view, which is the normal view for the camera. You can see here, camera over here. The drawing, it will show only the drawing for that frame. You can actually draw here that my bad. You can actually draw here. That's not that's something that doesn't affect at all. However, this is only for drawing. It doesn't affect anything with the cameras. You can see there is no frame for the camera. If I make it bigger, if I make it small, there is no frame for the camera. If I go back to the camera, you can see the drawing that I just made, the line that I just made on drawing, it goes to the camera as well. So those are the two things. You can see that I have top here. I use it sometimes. Top here is top view from the air, from the top. That's a top view of the camera, of the scene. you can see that I have two options to select. These are my two squares. I can move them and place them wherever I want. That's something that we will talk about later on, not in this video. Yes, what was about to put? Oh yeah, there are some stuff that can be done on that can be seen on the OpenGL, which is this view, and also the render view. The render view is the view that you will see at the final animation, so to speak. The final image is the render view. So you can select that from over here. You can see that this one here is the OpenGL view. So it is for displaying scene with a fast response, not in final output quality. This is not the final output. This is an easy way to see it, an easy way for the program to work without lag. So you can draw easily, and it will not affect your experience. However, on the side there's the render view. This is the view that this is the final view for the animation. Right now there's a black background because I do not have any background at all. So the program represents the no background as a black background. So this is the final view. Let's put, for example, to this drawing, let's make another layer. You remember how? Plus here, select drawing. And this would be a glow, for example. All right. Yeah, glow. And close, we have a new drawing. I'm sorry, a new layer. Let's just do the same. Let's create a new square. Okay, so this is the glow square. So we will put a glow effect on it. All right, there are a couple of ways to do it. All right, so for this, what I'm going to do is to use it the way I'm used to, which would be the node view. The nodes, it's a whole new universe, so to speak. However, and this works only for Harmony Premium. However, this is a great option. This is something that changed the way I animate. It is very simple. You may be confused at the beginning of what this is. We will talk about the node view and a special video only for it. However, it is very simple. So you can see that I have the timeline here, which is all the frames that I have and all the layers. However, there is another option here, another group, which is called the node library. These are all the nodes that I have for the program. We can select all the nodes. We will talk about that later on. However, since this is a glow example, let's take the glow new. This one shows my favorites. This is the ones that I mostly used. So I just click and drag to the node view. Let's go back to timeline. Let's just make sure that I'm selecting the glow layer. As you can see, these nodes are pretty much layers at this moment. There are other stuff that can be created over here. However, it would be at the moment, these are just these two frames and an effect, which is the glow, right? In order to move it, it will be the same as panning the scene. You can just press spacebar, click, and you can move it around. To zoom in and zoom out, it will be exactly the same as I mentioned last week, 1 and 2, and you can play around with it. Okay, so we are going to add the glow effect to the glow layer, which is this square over here, right? In order to do that, just take the node, move it around, press the Alt key, and you can see how it connects. It fits in it. It clicks in it, and moves over there. All right. Okay. So now the composite here is the where all the nodes and the drawings and the layers are connected. This one is sent to the right and to the display in order for us to see it on the camera, on the canvas here. All right. If it is not connected to the composite, it is not showing. You can see that it disappeared. All right. That's the way it works. Right. Okay. So you can see how it changed here. It is a white square now. Why is that? It is because it is an effect. It can be shown and it can be seen only on the render view, which is the one that I was talking about, this blue flower there. All right, so in order for the program to work fine, to not be lagging, to not be slow, it will show this version of the square, letting us know that there is an effect affecting this layer. All right, so let's just go back to the, let's just go to the render view. You can see, there's not much happening here. That's because the glow, we need to manipulate the glow layer. The glow effect. And that happens clicking on the yellow square, right? We click on it, let open on a different window. Here, it was in a different screen. All right. There are a couple of things that we can work with. There are a lot of stuff. However, the basic ones is the blur type. As you know, all glows have a blur effect on it. Usually it is radial, but that depends on you. And we will need to work with the radius. So we can increase it or decrease it. As you can see, I'm not putting a number here. I'm just clicking on the arrows here, the up and down arrows. Click and move up, holding the click, or move down. Right, now let's see how it changes when I move, and let's say for example this. You see it is very blurry. Still is blurry, it is not glowy. We want it to glow. All right, so let's go to the bottom. There is an option here that says use source color. It means that it will use the blue color for the square that I have. So if I do that, it will be a blue square. Otherwise, I can choose the color here, and it will be I can select any color I want. See? All right, let's leave it at red. That's fine. Okay, and finally the intensity of the glow. This would be the intensity of the glow. It is exactly the same thing. I just click on these arrows and move it up. You can see it is very glowy there. I can just move it, take it down a little bit more. Okay, so you can just play with that around and move the radius down here a little bit, move it more. Maybe this is not the right color, stuff like that. Okay, so this effect can be seen only, let me close that. This effect can be seen only on the render view. If I click back on the OpenGL, you will see that it changed to red, but it is this weird stuff. However, that works, so it does not affect the way the animation is working. Sorry, well, not the animation, but the everything pretty much. So it does not affect the fluidity, so to speak, of the program, because this is a little bit harder to render, and it will consume more resources on the computer, on the program, and it will make the animation slower. So it will create this, so to speak, OpenGL, just a basic square representing that there is an effect affecting it. So it will let us know that there is an effect on it. But if you want to see it, and if we want to control it, we need to go to the render view. Okay, that's the difference between the render and the OpenGL view. Okay, now that we have now that we have here these two, let me close this. You can see there is a glow layer, there is a glow effect. It has also its own set of frames. We will talk about those later on. And there is a layer for drawing. Okay, I can minimize this so I can see only the two layers. If I don't want to see the effect, I can just minimize it there, and I have the two layers. Why this is important? Because if I want to do, let's say, a rough drawing. Okay, let's delete this. You can just click on it and click on the minus. Click on it, click on the minus. You see how it disappears from this area on the node view. All right. Now let's create another layer. We will go to drawing and we will call this let's see, rough. Okay, this is our rough. I will add it, and now we will create the layer called clean, and I will add it and close. All right, now I have rough and clean. Let me move this one here. Okay, so let's say this will be pretty basic. Let's say I just want to make a rough circle with a happy face, something like this. Yeah, I'm getting better at this. All right. Somehow I created it on this, but I want it to move to the left. You see, it is on the third frame, but I want it to be on the first one. How do I do that? Just click on the frame, hold, and move. You will see the orange option here means that I'm moving it somewhere else. Just click on it. Okay, it did work. However, it created these other three because it thinks that I want to extend the animation or the drawing. It doesn't affect too much. Just delete on the keyboard. It will be deleted. Move to the key, the bracket on the left, and delete this one as well. And that leaves us with only one. Okay, this is our rough. Now we want to clean it up, clean these lines. So we go to the clean drawing, the clean layer. What we do is just to clean it up. However, you see it is pretty much on the same, and there's no way for me to see where is my line and where is the line behind on the other frame. How do I create some kind of light table that was used on the previous animation, on the traditional animation with paper and pencil? There was a light table that I could use. Let's move these two here. All right. Well, it was pretty simple. Just click on this light bulb that you see here. It is called the light table. What happens if I click on it? Right? Nothing happens on this layer. But what happens if I select the clean layer? Voila, I have this. That way I have a faded idea of the previous drawing on the previous layer, on the top layer, so I can make my cleanup. That's pretty easy. Ooh, that's awful. So I try again. That's a bit better. So if you don't like it, you can just go ahead and try it out again. Go ahead and try it out again until there's something that you like. You know the eyes are here. The smile, something like that. Okay, that's the use of the light table. If I take out the light table, everything looks with the same intensity. But if I put it back down, I can see through the drawing. Okay, that's very important. And well, that's pretty much it. We ended up talking about the node view. I hope this wasn't too complicated. It is very simple once you get to the use of it. So we will talk about that if you like it. I would be happy to do it. Any doubts, just let me know. I hope this was helpful. Once again, I try to do this once a week, every Wednesday. That's the idea. And just let me know with your questions, your ideas, anything that you think that we can work on. I would be happy to. So yeah, anyway, have a nice week, and we see you on the next video. Bye bye.